Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Thursday, December 1st, 2011. This is Texan TV News, a product of the Texan News Service, and I am Brittany Kennedy. In today's headlines, a live interview with Clay Stanford about SWAT's Relaxation Station, Tarleton student set free after rally, McDonald's charges extra for toys, San Antonio refinery fire forces evacuation, a hunting season update from the Erath County Game Warden, Tarleton Angel Tree success, NBA practicing begins, and the weather. I'm here with Clay Stanford, Traditions cheerleader of the school-wide activities team, to talk about Relaxation Station 2011. What is Relaxation Station, and what does it mean for Tarleton students?
Relaxation Station is a great way for students to have an opportunity to relax from the stresses of finals. We provide them with free massages, yoga demonstrations. We also allow them to make their own stress balls, and we also have an oxygen bar on hand.
Okay, what does this year's Relaxation Station consist of?
Well, like I mentioned, we'll have a free massage tables that students can get free massages, oxygen bars that they can try different scents, and we will allow them to make different stress balls that they can take home so they can rewind from the stressful times of the finals.
Okay. When and where is Relaxation Station?
This next coming week on December 6th and 7th from 11 to 3, it will be in the Student Center, and it will be easy to find because it will pretty much be through the entire Student Center.
Okay. Well, thank you, Clay.
Thank you all.
Now, today's top story. In international news, according to the Associated Press, the FAR's new agency said 11 people described as students were set free late Wednesday, just one day after they were arrested for storming the embassy and British diplomatic compounds in Tehran. The storming was preceded by an apparent rally outside the British embassy to denounce Britain's support for the latest round of the U.S. sanctions on Iran over its controversial nuclear program. The rampage consisted of the mob hauling down Union Jack flags, torching a vehicle, and tossing looted documents through windows. Iran's foreign ministry expressed regret and described the assault as unacceptable. The people involved were claimed as members of a student group allied with the Iranian Revolutionary Guard's paramilitary Baj organization. Tehran's relations with Britain have become increasingly strained over the past few months, largely driven by increasing tensions over Tehran's refusal to halt uranium enrichment, a process that can lead to nuclear arms. In national news, if you love getting the toy in your McDonald's Happy Meal, then San Francisco is not the place for you. A new city law that takes effect will require customers to pay an extra 10 cents in order to receive a toy in their meal. According to the Associated Press, San Francisco was the first big city to prohibit fast food chains from including free prizes in meals that do not live up to nutritional standards. Eric Marr, the city supervisor behind the new law, said the goal of the ordinance is to raise awareness about the nutritional content of the food. The extra dime that you may be dishing out will go towards the building of a new Ronald McDonald House at the University of California, San Francisco. Supporters of the new law say it will allow for children and their parents to focus more on the quality of the food they order instead of the big toy inside the bag. In state news, according to the Associated Press, in San Antonio on Wednesday, November 30th, 60 workers were forced to evacuate a refinery that caught on fire. This was the second time in 2 years this particular refinery has caught on fire. Firefighters believe this fire was caused by a container leaking jet fuel. Mary Rose Brown, a New Star engineer spokeswoman, confirmed that there were no injuries, and for precautionary measures, the plant sent about 6 employees and contractors home. In May 2010, the same refinery under different ownership caught on fire caused by an 18-wheeler explosion. This explosion set off many smaller explosions and critically burned 1 man. At that time, the plant was run by Age Refinery Incorporated, which was a small refinery that had filed for bankruptcy a few months prior to the explosion. All citizens were evacuated within a half-mile radius. New Star Energy Company had invested tens of millions of dollars in improvements, including additional firefighting equipment and training. In regional news, since the beginning of the opening season, according to the Empire Tribune, Erath County Game Warden Zach Havens has seen numerous violations of state hunting laws. Many hunters, he said, are simply unaware of the actual hunting rules. He suggests that all hunters be educated before actually going out. Havens is talking about making restrictions in this last month of seasons if he finds more violations. He says the hunter is responsible for any and all violations. In Tarleton news, Texan TV's Angie Knopp gets the scoop on this year's Angel Tree Christmas from Ellen Mayfield with the Center for Student Engagement.
Tell us a little bit about the Adopt an Angel program here at Tarleton.
Okay, well, our office has sponsored the Adopt an Angel program for about 16 years now, and we contact the housing authorities in Dublin, De Leon, and Gorman. They have government-funded housing there, so we know they're low-income families, and they're located in the little towns that don't have bigger sponsorships like Walmart or some of the places that do it here in Stephenville. So we contact them and send them a form and have them fill it out for each child that lives there, telling us their sizes and maybe their most wanted item and most needed item.
Okay.
And then we put the tree up with the angels on it, and we had 156 angels this year.
How has this year been different for the program compared to previous years?
We have about the same amount of angels that we usually have. We have 156. Something that I noticed this year was that they were mostly adopted by Tarleton students. A lot of times we have faculty and staff that get a lot of them, and they were gone within 3 days before people who generally get one even had a chance to. But we could still use donations, because after all the gifts come back in, we like to evaluate within the families and make sure that no child gets a lot more or less than anybody else in that family. And we also always have a need to purchase some bicycles at the end.
Okay. All right, Tarleton students, gifts are due today, December 1st by 4 p.m., but donations will be accepted throughout next week. Mayfield, tell us a little bit.
This is a great opportunity for Tarleton to give back to the community. To get involved, contact the center at 254-968-9490. In sports news, after a long 153-day lockout, the NBA players will be allowed to start practicing today. The players will be allowed to use team facilities and work with trainers. However, the trainers cannot supervise basketball-related activity, nor can coaches or players interact. The league and the union are still working to complete the new collective bargaining agreement, and ratification is not expected for another week. Yesterday, agents and the team executives were allowed to talk about free agents, but no deals can be made until the league reopens for business. Free agency and training camps are supposed to begin on December 9th, and according to Associated Press, the NBA will start its season on Christmas Day. Today's weather consists of mostly sunny skies with a high of 63 and a light breeze, but grab that umbrella for later in the evening because there is a 40% chance of thunderstorms. Today's broadcast was produced by Asia Branson, Lindsay Rader, Angie Knopp, and Molly Schaeferman, as well as senior producers Monica Pierce, Amber Ward, Sarah Richards, and help from engineer Matthew Mills. Stories came from the Associated Press and Stephenville Empire Tribune. You can follow us on ustream.tv/user/Texan TV News Service. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of us on Texan TV News on Facebook. I am Brittany Kennedy. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.